Human beings are pretty incredible creatures from a scientific perspective. We have developed over millions of years to do extraordinary things, from creating the internet to putting people into space to curing the worst that nature throws at us. Yet, we shouldn't just measure people's impact on the world by the amount of groundbreaking things that they've achieved. Everybody, whether they believe it or not, makes a difference to somebody else every single day. We do this by simply being social creatures and interacting with our fellow humans. Sometimes, however, people do things that are a little bit special. They are not necessarily widely reported, and you may never hear of these things, but they happen nonetheless. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at incredible things that people have done which you might not know about. The man who planted 6,000 trees. Trees are wonderful things, and you do not need to be a climate activist to understand and appreciate their existence. They produce oxygen through photosynthesis, which allows us to breathe. They create some of the most outstanding natural beauty we have, and they provide a home to some of the most amazing animals on the planet. In 2005, a man from England named Winston Howes used trees to do something pretty amazing. Winston was happily married to a lady named Janet for over 30 years. They wed in 1962 and spent countless hours together over the years. The pair would have seen the moon landing together, lived through the Thatcher government of the 80s, witnessed from afar the Challenger disaster, the assassination of Martin Luther King, and the erection and fall of the Berlin Wall, all from their happy home in South Gloucestershire. But in 1995, Janet suddenly passed away from a heart attack, leaving Winston a widower with a broken heart. Naturally, Winston wanted to do something to remember his wife by, but his idea was a little more extreme than a normal send-off. In a good way. Fast forward about 15 years, and a hot air balloonist named Andy Collett was flying over the South Gloucestershire area, specifically over a tiny part of the county called Wotton Hill. A regular guy, Andy most definitely was not planning to see anything quite like he did when he took his balloon out that day. So, what connects Andy and Winston, whose stories lie almost 20 years apart from each other? That was Winston's wish to remember his wife in an extra special way. He was a farmer by trade, so was used to being in and around nature. But Winston managed to keep his secret, well, very secret, which is surprising given that it's quite the statement piece. So, what was it that Andy noticed that day in his hot air balloon? Well, it was a small forest that stood out from the rest of the treeless, rolling countryside. However, the trees had been planted in such a way that they formed a heart-shaped meadow in the middle. How this had managed to stay hidden, so to speak, for 15 or so years, who knows? But when Winston was interviewed in 2012, he also revealed that a daffodil patch grows in the middle of the heart, an extra tribute to his late wife. There are roughly 6,000 trees planted. Quite the send-off, and what a heartwarming romantic story. Iowa carpenter paid 33 Iowans to attend college with $3 million fund. A study in 2019 revealed that, despite Iowa not having a particularly high poverty rate compared to some of the USA's southern states, around 1 in 8 Iowans actually live below the government's defined poverty line. University costs differ depending on where you go in the states, so it is no surprise that some of the most talented kids miss out purely due to financial reasons. However, Dale Schroeder decided he wanted to change this before he passed away in 2005. When it comes to making a difference, we often only hear about new government schemes or very rich individuals who are constantly in the media eye undertaking charity ventures. But, as Dale proved posthumously, you don't necessarily have to be famous to do something amazing. Dale was a humble carpenter and had worked for roughly 67 years before retiring. His friends described him as a regular guy who went to work every day, worked really hard, and was frugal, like a lot of Iowans. Dale did not appear to be particularly well off. He had no wife or children and had never lived a life of luxury from the day he was born in 1919. But unbeknownst to nearly all of Dale's friends and colleagues, he had been saving an awful lot of money. Soon before he passed away, Dale went to see a lawyer to work out his inheritance payments. When he arrived, the lawyer was expecting to see a few $1,000s saved up, no more than you'd expect the average carpenter to have saved, respectively. However, Dale saved an incredible $3 million. But what did Dale need $3 million for? Or, more to the point, how had he managed to save that much money? One of Dale's friends, Steve Nielsen, told the news that he had once discussed Dale's inheritance with him. You know, what he was going to do with no immediate next of kin. That was when Dale had revealed the extraordinary figure to him. Dale apparently told Nielsen that, given he'd never had the chance to go to college, all of those $3 million were there to send some of Iowa's brightest but poorest children to university, to give them the chance he never had. In the years after his passing, the $3 million sent 33 Iowans to college, completely for free. Some of Dale's kids, as they dubbed themselves, have gone on to become doctors, teachers, and more, each without the weight of an $80,000 loan to pay back. In 2019, the 33 kids got together to remember a man who they'd never met, yet had, essentially, given them the chance to have a fulfilling life. Without this man, this would have never have happened. Man builds wife an aeroplane house. In 1999, a man named Saeed Jamal, who lives in Abuja, Nigeria, began construction on his new home. Millions of people across the world decide to build their own houses, often because they are looking for a dream home that simply may not exist. But it's probably fair to say that Jamal's dream home, or his wife's for that matter, was a little more ambitious than the homes available on the Nigerian property market at the time. Jamal and his family, 8 people in total, did eventually settle somewhere in Abuja. But they did not feel like their new home was special enough. It was not unique to them. So Jamal decided to do something about it. His wife loved to travel, and he wanted to incorporate this passion into his project. In an interview with the BBC, he spoke of his desire to help his wife feel like she was always traveling, or more specifically, always on an aeroplane. Fast forward about 20 years, and Jamal has captured the attention of the world media with his aeroplane-shaped house. Although the house is neither built out of an aeroplane fuselage, as has previously been done in various places around the world, the roof of the house has been transformed into the shape of an airliner, except this one is made entirely out of concrete. The aeroplane house sits on a fairly large estate in Abuja, and given Jamal's background in construction, he was able to redevelop the house mostly by himself. Although he did note that his 6 children would all help with the build every day after school. Jamal has a true love for Nigeria, and he hopes that the aeroplane house, as well as being a unique place to live, will be savoured as a tourist landmark for years to come. Nigeria as a country often gets a lot of bad press. This tends to focus on the poverty in the country, as well as evident corruption and political oppression. In this respect, Jamal and his family are also changing Nigeria's image for the outside world by doing something that will be remembered for all the right reasons: a man, his family, and his love for them. We have travelled between 3 different continents, each very different, but one thing is clear, that there are people all over the world from all walks of life who have good hearts and want to do something special for those they love. But what do you make of these heartwarming gestures from 3 very ordinary people? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.